Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud. And this is going to be about 5 episodes worth of content crammed into about an hour, I want to guess. I'm hoping. Episode 7 through episode 11 of War of the Worlds 2. And I just want to start this off by saying that I wish it wasn't called War of the Worlds 2. Because War of the Worlds 1 was great. It was a return to form. Like, it was the kind of show that made me dig it in the first place, man. Like, it was so pure and back to the basics and all that other stuff. And War of the Worlds is cool. It's got its style, its structure, its rules, but none of that is here in this sequel. This is more technically accurate than War of the Worlds 1 because you have the US versus the UK. Whereas in the first War of the Worlds, it was just a pair. You would have Nani and Turbo, and Turbo's from Turkey and Nani's from the US, so whatever. And then they have D and Wes, and Wes is from the US and D is from Australia, So I don't know, it was just kind of scattered, but it was so great. And this is just, like I said, just more technically accurate to call it War of the Worlds 2. But so we have 2 big teams on this one, whereas in the first War of the Worlds it was in pairs, like I said, and then eventually got into individuals. And in this season, there's no personal call-outs into elimination. And that was one of the best parts of that frickin' season. It was very dual. It was... that was the whole gimmick. Like, the whole thing was brilliant because, it was sensational every single time someone got called out, And we're just not having it this time. And the location used to be almost... it was very specifically inspired as a post-apocalyptic movie. It was in the desert. All the vehicles looked like something out of Mad Max, It had a very distinct look, a very distinct personality. And in this one, they're just back in Thailand, and holy shit, it was cool when they first went there in the ruins, but now they do every other season in Thailand. It's crazy. It must just be more affordable or something. I mean, and I'm not saying it looks bad. I'm just saying that War of the Worlds 1, it was all desert, It was a whole new look. And this one is just kind of, it's just not following anything about the first season. And then also the big thing is that there was a variety of winners. Any pair could win. Any pair could get into that top 3 in that first season of War of the Worlds, and that would alter the politics of the game. And in this one, you only have 2 choices, and what's worse is that there is no variety in winners. In episode 10, the UK finally wins, okay? And not even 100%. The first mission that they won earlier this season was because the US tried to throw it and actually quit. It was given to them. In episode 10, they finally win, but it's also with that stupid thing that I just absolutely hate, is when they take players out of the game to make the mission more fair. I just don't believe in it. If I was running the numbers on production, I'd be like, hey, these numbers don't add up. Why are we paying these players, these characters, these wannabe actors money per episode and then yet have them sit out on these missions? It's not good. But yeah, that's that was what I want to begin. I wanted to sum it all up and just saying it should have been called something else. But it's what else would you call it? This is more accurately War of the Worlds. I don't know what else you could do it. What was the... No, I guess they don't want to bring a callback to old wars with that we had with them, so I guess that makes sense. I don't know. It should have been called something else. I have no idea what it should have been called. But there you go. Let's get into and out of episode 7 as quickly as possible. Episode 7 was Zero Dark Turbo. I wrote down the ratings. 0.79. And that will be the highest of these recent 5 episodes. That's interesting. Well, let's talk about the mission. Resilient River Run, where everyone climbs into the river, the shallow river. It's not very... It's there's no rapids, rapid rapids. There's no, Meryl Streep, the River Wild sort of scenario. It's quite calm. Everyone loads up all these puzzle pieces, then on top they gotta carry these giant relics, and if it falls, stop, reload, and oh yeah, oh my god, I was gonna go into this and I just remembered. No, I get to zip right through this. Basically, the U.S. wins. UK's always behind, whatever. Let's get into nominations where, this is significant. CT finally picks a side. This was the main thing about CT this entire season, where he's just kind of hanging out in the background, or he's just kind of playing, he's the swing vote. And a lot of people have accused him of doing this, of just like, hey, pick a side already. And I think that was Theo that was the more vocal of the people. He's like, CT just keeps quiet until he sees a bigger number, and then he just votes with them or something like that. But okay, so finally CT picks a side, and that side is also aligned with Cara Maria's side, because there's players on both sides working with Cara and Polly. That's going to be a huge theme throughout this whole thing with the Cult of Cara, or whatever you want to call it. And it's the smarter move. Maybe he wouldn't. I don't know. It's interesting because, Cara and CT are friends, probably just by proxy, because they're like Boston strong, and so they're always going to have that friendship. Even though they're not really seen with each other throughout this entire season, but still, CT sees where the true numbers are, and that is with Cara, and Jogan is working with them. So anyways, he finally takes a side, and he votes in Bear. And I also want to say, in terms of picking sides, is that I think this might be the episode, or maybe later, where CT tells Kyle, you only tell me what I want to hear. Something like that. And Kyle's like smiling. He's like, what do you mean? Like, come on, And CT's like, no, man, like, I know what you're doing. And that was such an interesting scene, because that was my most... I adored that dynamic between Kyle and CT. Kyle just always wanting CT's approval, or just wanting for CT to give him something. But then CT, when he finally says and acknowledges Kyle as the possible younger brother on the team, he says, you play a very, a squirmy game. That's not his words, this is my words. But, we've accused Kyle of perhaps playing all sides. Just telling, exactly what CT said, just telling people what they want to hear. And it was very smart of CT. It was very sad to see that relationship not get to where I wanted it to be, because I've enjoyed Kyle this season. So the fact that CT finally acknowledges him, but it acknowledges him as being sort of a snake. It's fucked up. It's a great scene. It might even be the next episode, not this one, but I just wanted to get that out of the way. So in the elimination, we have walloped where Bear will be versing Joss. I don't... you know what? Never mind. I'm going to blaze through this shit, like I said. Bear versus Joss. I do remember Joss saying, like, oh, you're fucked, Bear. You're fucked. Like, he just knows. Like, Joss has enough self-esteem, acknowledgement that he is a gifted athlete. And Bear, he's got some fight in him. Like, because he'll be losing to Josh 3-1. I think it was Josh won the first one, and then in the second one, Bear came back. And, you know, what a good fight. It does suck. It really does suck that Bear's gone. I kind of, after a while, I've actually kind of been buying into Bear more. But it's really, I mean, who put him in there, you know? To me, it does feel like CT put him in there. He really did say, like, okay, I'm not with Bear and I'm not with Kyle here. Like, you guys aren't with me. And Theo, he's already challenged me. You know, I'm gonna pick Jogan, and which is the underlings of Kara or whatever, you know. Sorry again. I keep sniffing. I also have a cold. I've been putting aside this podcast for a number of reasons, and I was gonna do it again today. I was gonna say, like, no thanks, because I haven't been feeling well. But whatever. Let's soldier through. So yeah, Bear gets eliminated. That is too bad. That is very, very sad. That sucks. Joss, obviously, he returns to the UK. He has no ill will towards them. Like, it wasn't even them that threw him in there. It was Team US, because he is such a good player. And, the one thing I have to mention is in the house, in terms of, like, what happened inside the, the interplay of the individuals. Jordan versus Turbo round 1. This is after they win that mission, Resilient River Run, where Turbo is in celebration. He, like, spin kicks the icon, that head, what is it called, the relic, off of its prop, and Jordan's like, hey man, like, we're gonna have to reset that, and, like, he's, like, breaking the fourth wall. He's talking about filming or something like that, and he just gets really mad at Turbo. And Turbo turns around and is like, who the fuck do you think you are? You know, like, he doesn't say that, but, like, it's that very, that pride that, like, Turbo comes from a world where they don't really, like, yeah, you could tease, you could have fun, but there are levels to disrespect and, pride. It's just different over there, man. It's crazy. And this is just round 1. They'll have about 3 rounds, I want to say. And then this was kind of prolonged throughout the episode, and it's crazy because I thought oh my god, it sounds so nasally. My fucking nose is stuffed. Sucks. Okay, so Jordan and Turbo, they get in that fight. And then people online are like, well, they actually made up it, immediately or something like that. So it was all bullshit. And then they even had, like, the MTV's been putting out these, like, after show videos, and they all just kind of talk about stuff. And I thought they said, they were like, yeah, Jordan and Turbo, they squashed the beef immediately. I don't know why they made it seem like blah, blah, blah. But they didn't squash the beef, because they will get into it 2 more times after this. So who is telling the bullshit here? What is the real story, This is just in light of the stupid ass Polly and Cara Maria fake breaking up online social experiment. They're like, I see, don't believe fake news out there. Yeah, people like to read news and they spread it as truth, but when they don't know. But it's like, Cara Maria, yeah, goddamn dingbat, you cannot put out false information about yourself as a social experiment when you're saying, like, oh, people will believe anything. Well, yeah, especially if you put out that false information yourself. What is that? That's not proving anything. Cara Maria is... I have ire. She will receive ire. What is that? What is the term where I'm just gonna be very mad. There's gonna be a lot of things to talk about in terms of Cara Maria, but I'll get into that much later because there's just much more of Cara left in these 5 episodes. Holy shit! All right, let's get on to episode 8, huh? Yeah, it only took 15 minutes. All right, episode 8, Saving Private Esther, watched by .65. The mission was Great Expectations, and this was by far one of the lamest missions, man. Like, everyone as a group had to work and carry these kind of heavy little shelf things and stack them while they get the tallest person to climb on there, jump up, and grab these hanging relics across, like, I don't know, a football field length of time. I mean, and space, whatever. But it was really lame. And the U.S. win again, which makes it even worse, or just more lame, because, you know, you want a shakeup. You don't. There's no drama in seeing someone just perfectly execute something over and over and over again. Like, there really isn't. But whatever. I mean, still, congratulations, Great Expectations, U.S. It was still really lame though. I wouldn't watch it again. Nominations, Esther volunteers. Okay, so this was a bit significant. Maybe not. It just helps characterize and fill in the details, flesh out the personality of the Cult of Cara, where it's not good. You know, Esther volunteers. Everyone agrees that she should, but Cara Maria was like, they were telling Dee, like, hey, you have to fucking save Esther, and we're gonna try and put in Jenny or something like that. I think that was the plan, or something similar. But Esther volunteers. There was nothing she could have done, so that's when the Cult of Cara, they all like attack Dee at the bar, and Dee cries again. And Ninja sat back and did nothing, and I don't know. That was weird, you know. Like, Ninja was like, I thought I was being the voice of reason. So I think even Ninja thought that Dee should have prevented Esther from volunteering somehow. I don't know how. So, okay, let's get into the elimination running riot, where it's going to be actually a double elimination, a girl and a guy. Kyle gets nominated. Yeah, that's right. Well, let's start with Esther versus Georgia. So Georgia gets put in because she's one of the best, and they got to carry these heavy ass pieces of whatever, and they have to put it in the order that the little grid says, the little graph says, and they're all varying weights. And what happens is that, Esther and Georgia go first. It was fine to see. It turns out Esther like really put in a pretty solid performance. I would say that she she did good, and Georgia did good, but eventually Georgia got the pieces together faster. I don't really remember too much about that. Well, you know, what I do remember more is what happened with Kyle versus Theo. Now, Kyle gets voted in. You know, it's all a numbers game by this point. You know, like I said before, CT chose to go with Jogan, which is a part of Kara's alliance. And so Kyle's going in, and he's going against Theo, and I want to say, you know, Kyle gets eliminated, but I think it's just through strategy. Kyle picked the wrong strategy. He started with the lighter objects and ran those quickly, almost to maybe discourage Theo, you know, just to see all those things lined up before you're even like bringing your own relic by one time. Kyle's got like 3 up there already, you know, something like that. But the problem was that Kyle left the heaviest at the end. By that time, he was already tired and gassed out, and it sucked. It really did suck. Kyle's gone. The only positive at all is I'll say that, you know, th- we as an audience didn't have to endure the Kara and Polly hate Kyle but secretly love Kyle storyline again, because that was nauseating in War of the Worlds 1. So Kyle's out. That does suck. I really have been enjoying him lately, but overall, I think CT made the right call. You know, it was the smarter call. Like, it's all true. Like, I'm actually glad that CT just straight up called out Kyle for what he does. So yeah, there we go. All right, on to episode 9, the Royal Rumble, 0.73. The mission was Under Siege. The U.S. wins. I also want to say this might be the best mission of the season. This was amazing. This was where they're in this giant crate and it's suspended in the air. The heats, guys go first, then the girls, but they're inside that crate, and you got to put these three-dimensional puzzles on the side of it. Meanwhile, the crate is being lifted from one side to the next, and people are sliding inside of it and slamming into each other on the one end. It is great. I loved it so much. It was very effective. Like, the producers, I feel like, really produced something special. I don't know how else to word it, but did they do it too well? Because neither the guy or the girls in the first heats could complete the puzzle. And I wasn't sure how strong the puzzle pieces stayed on that board. Was it like giant Velcro or something like that? It sounded like big pieces of Velcro on the pieces. Did they fall off when the crate would move on either side? I'm kind of curious, because it sort of seemed like they would have putting pieces together again. I don't know. But also, the puzzle was very complex. It really was. It was... everything had to be spot on. There was a graph that they could follow on the wall. Kudos to whoever noticed that. But I thought that was pretty sweet. I was like, oh, I don't think I ever would have looked on the wall for the secret. It's pretty crazy that was there. And even then, it didn't help. Eventually, the producers were like, God damn it. All right, these kids can't pull this shit out. So we're going to help them. They did 50% of it. And it was, it was there. My only, and so when it goes, the U.S. win then, right? Now, am I crazy, or did it start off with the U.S. on their side, on the bottom, so the U.K. side is up in the air first, thereby giving the U.S. more and more time to just quickly solve this puzzle? Because again, this puzzle was super easy now. Now that 50% of it was done by the producers, That's what I remember. I could be off, but yeah, that was pretty weird. And so it asked the question, why would producers want the U.S. to keep winning like this? To me, it's just it's so old. It's so old. I'm so over it. This was what the problem was with the Ruins. It sucked. You want both teams to challenge each other and make each other great, a la Gauntlet 2. Okay, so let's get into the nomination, where Idris is thrown in. There's no arguments about it. It was just obvious. Kyle's gone now. Idris, you're one of the few left. So Idris gets voted in into the elimination break free. Now this could be one of the best eliminations of the season, right up there with when Jenny went against Nicole in that claustrophobic tube thing where they had to climb up and down and solve a puzzle and stuff like that. But this one It's sweet. I love it. Like you get on a rope, you fucking swing like you're a pirate or something into a wall, and you got to break through it, climb through that, and solve the puzzle, the third dimensional puzzle. It looked awesome. I just got to say about this overall, though. I mean, well, Theo wins, but I just have to say, puzzles, if they're going to be in eliminations, there should be a rule where the people outside of the eliminations cannot help out. Because you can help out and you could also fuck them over. Like, just remember Idris, like, being so confused. Like, what? They're like, the L-shaped shape, the L shape, the L. They were just screaming their heads off. But, like, really, what if he could just solve that himself? What if anyone? I just really don't think it's right that puzzles are like people outside can speak out and shit. Like I just don't believe it. It should be treated like a game of golf. Whenever there's a puzzle, it should be just like, please be quiet. Okay, there's what do we have? Oh, Theo. He's gonna grab the piece. That's a good piece. What's Idris doing? Seems like he's really concentrating. Thank God no one's yelling directions at him, because that would be very distracting right now. Like it would be like that. I would prefer that. I just think it's more fair, all right? Theo wins. He goes back to goddamn UK again. I think I was going to mention this later, but I'm just going to say right now, like the whole patriotism thing sucks, and it's so lame. I think it's hurting the UK because they're the ones that are always winning, but they're still returning. Well, they're not always winning. They're always going into eliminations against each other and winning and coming back. That it sucks. For king and country and shit like that. Like, no, this isn't that big a deal. It's not like this season is being watched way more now that the UK have some skin in the game, They have a dog in this fight. They have a horse in this race. No. Like, who the fuck cares? Do you really think? I mean, because spoilers, Jordan and Tori, they turn coat. They go to the UK. Do you think they're gonna go home and people are gonna spit in their faces and say "baby killer"? No, they're not gonna. It's not like they're gonna be outcasts in America. Who gives a shit about this patriotism thing? Like, oh my god, you're dooming yourself right now, Theo. Because spoilers, you do eventually get eliminated. So I don't know. This was so bizarre. So let's get on to Jordan versus Turbo, round 2 via Ashley and Cara. Cara and Jordan are arguing because they don't get along, and Cara's like, "Oh, we gotta all prove something to you, don't we, Jordan?" He's like, "In a way, yes." And she's like, "Oh, so you think I'm the weakest?" And Jordan's like, "No, Turbo is." And Ashley then goes and gets Turbo and says like, "Hey man," he's talking mad shit, saying like you're the worst. And Turbo says like, "What's going on?" And Jordan says like, well, in so many words, I said that you could not swim, and or whatever, like all this stuff. And then fucking, what the fuck is going on? Like, Cara tries to start something with Tori at that moment. It's awful. It is so bad. And you have someone who's like, he's not on the same brain wavelength. That's not the appropriate thing. But no, it's a culture clash. Turbo, Americans, we're very jaded. We're very cynical. We work with a lot of grays in our life. Like it's nothing is too black and white compared to like where Turbo's from. So he's taken all this shit very fucking personally. He's getting wound up. And fucking Ashley was just like, "I was just bored, y'all. I'm a piece of shit." Like, Ashley really does not give a shit what anyone thinks of her, because she is a piece of shit, but she doesn't give a shit. She's got that money. Being awful on this show equals money. That's what some people are going to realize. Like Leroy. Well, I'm not saying... Oh, my God. We're not going to get sidetracked. But still, Ashley and Kara, they like high-five each other afterwards. After the Jordan and Turbo didn't hit each other, thank God. They're like, oh my God, we're just a couple of bored bitches, you know? It's terrible. And then later on, round 3 happens. I don't know what the fuck happened, but all of a sudden Jordan is saying shit about Turbo again. Then he mocks his walk. The security come in to hold him back. And you know, Jordan is relentless. He keeps on digging at him and stuff. This is terrible. This, like, you know... I don't give a shit if Jordan just proposed to Tori. Jordan is a piece of shit. Like, what kind of... I think... this is what I want to end this episode talking about. It's just that if you're going to kick out someone, what about the people that instigated it? Like, hardcore. Like, TJ says, like, hey, this is a warning, Jordan and Paulie. Like, seriously, what the fuck? They got into each other's faces. Turbo didn't. Now, I did hear that maybe Turbo fought security, and maybe that's when they're just like, oh, fuck this, man. Maybe that's true. But I also think that overall, okay, like, I think if, say in a classroom, a kid is being very disrespectful and like, sounding off on... and just on the teacher and like saying all this horrible shit, but these kids are like laughing at his antics. I think not only should the kid that's saying all the crap be disciplined, but so should the people that were enabling him and getting him going and stuff. The same thing is with this fighting shit. After security are there, Jordan still mocks his walk. Like, fuck that, man. You know? Like if Devin would have punched Bananas in the face on Rivals 3 after Jordan shoved Devin out of the room, or I mean, after Bananas shoved Devin out of the room, pointed at his face and laughed along with his cousin, and was saying all this racial shit to Sylvia. Or wait, was it Sylvia? No, not Sylvia. Fuck. I don't remember the name anymore. Fuck. Corey got with her. Fuck. Okay, well, that doesn't help. Either way, I'm just saying, is like, I think you should also punish the other side. You know, because you could rile someone up. You know that. Everyone has to know it. There's footage everywhere. And you're not going to do anything about Jordan? Like, fuck that, man. This is 3 times. 3 fucking times. Why wasn't Ashley brought up for inciting that one? The same way, like, when when Camilla was drunk on, what was it? Fucking, what was that? Dirty 30? Something like that? What the fuck was it? No, it wasn't Dirty 30. But they were pairs. It was Rivals 3 again, where Bananas wakes up a drunk, passed out Tony to deal with a drunk Camilla. And they got in trouble so much in that moment that they both got kicked out. Nothing was done to Bananas for inciting that incident, and you know, and just warming them up, you know, getting them riled up, like I said. So it's fucked up in it, and I don't agree with it. All right, on to episode 10, Infinity War. Views 0.65. Yeah, this was the first to be continued, I believe, of the season, and that was because Turbo is gone. But yeah, TJ warns Jordan, Polly should have warned Ashley as well, and Kara for high-fiving the fact and stuff. He should have been like, we have the footage, goddammit. But, you know, that's not TJ's style, guys. He just doesn't like quitters. He doesn't mind fucking cheaters and, like, absolute pieces of shits. No, that's all cool, man. Let's talk about the mission Incoming, where players sit out, again, which is lame, but one positive is that the UK win once again. It's a nice change of pace, even if it's fleeting, it's nice. Let's get into nomination. Oh, whoa. Incoming. Let's talk about it. It was a brutal in the mud, chasing after, fighting over balls sort of scenario. Classic stuff. Yeah, I mean, it was nice. I don't want to just gloss over something like that with so few words, but well, there you go. Nominations. I just remember this where Tori is getting voted in, and Leroy even goes out and says, "I will never say Nani's name, so I'm voting in for Tori." And Nani's like just pissed off. She's like, "Oh, you're such a piece of shit," or something like that. And Leroy is like, "Why are you getting mad at me?" Like, Leroy got angry, which he really doesn't do too much. He's very laid back and stuff. And I mean, I get it. Like, he's picking a winning side with the Kara Alliance. Nani's not part of it. But he also did say, like, hey, I will never say Nani's name. But, that's Nani for you. I do not envy anyone that has to deal with Nani on that long of a basis. Like, screw that, right? Let's get into the elimination. Blockbuster, which we have Tori versus Georgia. Because Kaylee dislikes Georgia. Joss, I don't know. What is he? I mean, we want to say he's a good guy, but, you also got to play smart. And, why not just put someone in U.S. versus Tori? Because Tori already said, like, hey, if I win, I'm coming to your guys' team. It should have been clear. Put in someone else. It could have been Nani. Nani's not part of that giant alliance that everyone else is on, including Kaylee. This was just this personal thing from Kaylee. Dumbass Joss agrees. It was just not wise at all to just, like, who's the better player overall between Georgia and Tori? Probably Tori. But why not keep Georgia on and add Tori and get rid of Nani? Like, it was just so disheartening. Like, I remember before I even watched these episodes, there was a big delay in episodes, just from my point of view. So I wasn't watching the episodes, but I was reading about it. And and what I was reading, I was just so annoyed. I was like, okay, so everything just gets worse and worse and worse, and no one is likable anymore. Is that what it is? And that's pretty much it. Like, the episodes, like the current episode was great because I had a great elimination, great mission. But this one, it's cool that UK won, but again, I don't like players having to sit out, and I don't know, whatever. Let's get more into this. Tori versus Georgia in Blockbuster. This was interesting. It was a set amount of time. They were on opposite ends of each other on a plank or a platform, and they were pushing like Tetris-like pieces. If you pushed one in, it would push out on the other person's side. So it was like a more elaborate version of that sliding doors thing, Vienna White style, Wheel of Fortune type of thing, where it was like Laurel and Cara versus Teresa and Camilla, where they're like, whoever, after like 20 minutes of running around and flipping doors, whoever has the most flipped doors on their side wins. So it was kind of interesting a little bit. Very time consuming though. Like, it, I think both heats, Tori won by a piece versus Georgia. Like, Georgia would have 6 pieces and Tori would have 7, something like that. Pretty crazy, pretty tight race. Makes it even more heartbreaking because Georgia's now gone. But Tori, she's the first turncoat. She's like, hey, US, are you guys just gonna throw me in again if you have the chance? They don't say anything, so she's like, fuck it, I am now K. I am now British, right? So there you go. Episode 11. All is fair in love and war. Watched by 0.67. The mission was Temple Wall Traverse. U.S. wins. And I want to say this is why. I mean, there's a lot of factors going into this, but it's even worse given the fact that I think it was better to go first, which was to actually traverse the walls, than it was to go second. Because if you're going first, like the U.S. does, you're just trying to climb a crazy obstacle, right? But if you're on the U.K., you are actually in control of moving those pieces around to throw them off and stuff. Well, they're high above the water, and it's like these floating rock climbing walls, But yeah, the UK have to be burning out their arms because they're like spinning this wheel, and that's like on a pulley machine, and that's moving these sheets of rock climbing rock, whatever you want to call it, these pegs to float here and there. I think it was bad to go second. It was much better to go first because your arms are shot by the time that you get up there to climb. But even so, I don't think Kaylee did the spin the wheel thing work. Her arms weren't shot. She was just straight up scared. She refused to go on. And that's just a bigger slap in the face, huge reminder that they, essentially, previous episode, chose Kaylee over Georgia, It sucks. It's so bad, but I'm glad that it's being pointed out now. The other thing that's really super sucks is that now that Tori's on their team, who knows how they could perform. Let's get it going. But Rogan, who's constantly saying, like, God damn it, I want to prove myself, and I'm not... don't throw me in elimination. I'm good. He falls. He grabs at Tori's arm, bringing her with him down into the fucking water, man. It's horrible. Parts of me feel like maybe he didn't fall on purpose, but he definitely took her down with him on purpose. Like it was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, who do I trust? Who do I trust? No one. Like this. All the people here, this whole season reminds me of the movie The Hateful Eight. Anyone ever seen it? It's Quentin Tarantino's 8th film, and it was just about the most despicable human beings in this boring ass cabin, and guess what? They turn on each other. I liked no one on the cast. And this is it. Like I'm like, who is there to even root for? Who is there to even like? I mean, if you want to like CT, sure, but he's really just kind of like almost a non-presence. I mean, like he's acknowledged, but he's not really doing anything. Like if anyone were to step up and become a captain and turn things around, it could have been CT, but he hasn't. Now Tori comes over, and it just doesn't work. It's absolutely crazy. I just think that I don't know. I'm curious if Jordan. We'll talk about the next episode or this episode in the future. Let's just get to it, right? So in elimination, Theo's going in because it's obvious, like the numbers are stacked against him. The Cult of Kara alliance might be the strongest, most far-reaching alliance we've had in a long time. Like, JEK style, West style, like this giant alliance. And the political intrigue, that's about the one thing. The one positive that I want to give the season overall is that everyone has to play the game, the political game. Everyone is a part of it. If you move, you're going to shake everything up, It's like they're all on this web, and if you move, like everyone's going to feel it. So you got to go and pick a side. And if you don't, it's obvious. it's very much Fresh Meat 2, where everyone had a game to play. Everyone had to make a move, So that's the one good positive. So let's get into the elimination, where Theo is going in once again. He's like 3-0 this season, 4-0 overall, I believe. And they put in Jordan. And I don't know, it was I guess it wasn't was it predicted? Sort of, kind of. I mean, Tori and Jordan, they were like, hey, this is all smoke screening, like where they're talking about Josh and trying to harass him and stuff, when really it's going to be you, Jordan. They're like, they're probably going to, like, they want to pull out, what they did to Wes, what they did to Laurel, what they did to Bananas, like you're the next guy that they want to surprise. And it's not a surprise. They vote in Jordan. He goes against Theo in, what is it called? Under the Hammer. You hammer down these giant railroad spikes through wood to get down and hit and crack these light bulbs that are underneath it. Immediately Zach's like, oh my god, like this is how I lost to Jordan in Battle of the Exes 2. Like we both had sledgehammers there, and Jordan fucking defeated me. And Jordan's like, hey man, I grew up in, as a construction worker or carpentry. I'm always hammering shit. And so he's like, I'm home. This is fine. This is cool. And yeah, it's Theo started off good, but then he wasn't as accurate, and that's just what really hurt him overall. Like he was getting tired. He was getting disheartened again. Well, Jordan is just calmly and robot-like just hammering away at this thing. Like the accuracy is, they're clean shots, and Jordan wins. He's asked if he will. TJ's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? Or where are you gonna go?" or something like that. And Jordan's like, "Well, I know that I would like to stay in the U.S. and throw everything and shit, but I think who I belong with the most is Tori." So he gets on his, he gets on one knee, bends the knee, and takes out a box. In the box is a ring. Proposes to Tori. Tori says yes. Everyone is like, holy shit, this is a genuine human thing that we're witnessing. Is it cringe? Perhaps. I mean, if you ever seen like any sort of public proposal, you're just like, hey, come on, man, we're here to watch a fucking game, not this, But everyone knows each other, and it should be a good thing. Most people are happy. Fucking even Polly is just able to, like, he actually gives Jordan a hug, I think, But Kara is salty as shit. She's just like, Tori's gonna pay for that when Jordan loses the final or something like that. And and Polly just was like, are you serious right now? It was crazy. It was a crazy moment where I'm like, you know what? I like Polly more than Kara. I've always felt like I should like Polly because of just his determination, his athleticism, his sense of he just wants to win, I like that. Him and Jordan are very similar. But like, God, when Kara's around, he's not the same, bro. She changed him, and Kara is just miserable, like she's just always pissed off, and like, oh God, remember when Polly and Kara were talking earlier when they thought things weren't going their way in the season, and Polly was trying to comfort Kara, and Kara was like crying. She's like, I want us all to get along and shit like that, right? Remember that? How fake was that? How fake is Kara? Because now Jordan and Tori are literally gonna have to probably go into every elimination, Like, odds are really good that they'll have to. And Kara is just, oh my gosh. I did hear that she's not going to be in this next season. And I say good. I think she needs to take time off. Like, she does this all the time. And these shows have a tendency to really corrupt you. Because most likely getting rewarded for the more bad behavior that you put out there. And most champions are assholes. They had to be assholes to get to where they needed, like they needed to get into that final. They had to betray people to get there and stuff. And I actually wanted to make a video a long time ago about like how, that's what you have to do. You have to turn from a baby face, good guy, to a heel. You have to do a heel turn. You have to turn to a bad guy to win these things. And Kara's just steeped in it. She's been in here forever, man. And like even with episodes like the after show where they're talking about what happened, she's still just like fake smiling, but like really pissed off. Like she's like taking these things as life and death, which is what you have to do if you want to be the most winningest challenger. Like I've said that about Bananas, where he treats all this stuff as life and death because that really is his life. That's his livelihood. That's how he gets his money. This is his career, Same thing with Kara. So I am shocked and also relieved that she's not going to be on the next season. It's crazy. So that is the end. That covers the last 5 episodes or so, the latest 5 episodes. Like, subscribe, comment. This was Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud.